G'day everyone, welcome back to another tipping video on the channel. In today's video we've got a big one as we'll be going over my preliminary AFL finals tips for the 2022 AFL finals series. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And let's get into today's video. Okay, my tips from the two semi-finals, copped the 1 out of 2, got the Pies tip right, got the Demons tip wrong. It was a week 2, not quite like week 1 with the close encounters. Both games were a bit more of a one-sided battle, but geez, how about this, the Demons? Out in straight sets, and as much as it is, pretty hard to believe, I feel like they sort of deserve it in a way. They've just had this situation of gotten themselves into trouble too many times this year when they really need to put on points. There's that period in like the third term, they start off strong in the Ds, but when the opposition really gets the ball rolling and puts on points, the Demons struggle to reply and put on scoreboard pressure. Their forward half again was struggling, and how about that for the Lions? Their first win at the G since I think 2014, just rolled over the top of the Demons. Got the repeated inside 50s, just went bang, bang, bang. How about this though, the Lions? It's almost like a bit of a underdog story. They were written off already from week 1, got the win over the Tigers, now got the win over the reigning premiers. Can they go on to defeat Geelong and make an unlikely grand final, you could say? Then we had the Pies and the Dockers. I felt like this one would be probably a bit closer of a game, but to be fair, it makes perfect sense that Collingwood were always going to win this game. Could not see him dropping this game at all. Just because of the crowd, I feel like Freo's plays would have probably that sort of feeling that, it's going to be really hard to get a result. They're probably, by the crowd that is, they just get carried away by the thousands of Pies fans at the MCG. And from what Justin Longmuir said in the presser, that was the case. And to be fair, Collingwood should have won this game by around 50 points plus. They kicked, I think, 1 goal 11 throughout a period throughout the game. But yeah, Freo, it's still lessons learnt for him. They're still a young side. They've gained plenty of experience for this. But this is the sort of form that Collingwood want if they want to knock off the Swans heading into a big, huge prelim final this weekend. Righto, a quick look at my top 10 in my tipping competition. Remember, the top 5 do get cash prizes, so there is still this round and then the grand final to do with the tips. So still really good chance to get 3 more points. So we'll quickly go over them now. 10th 𝐓𝐶𝐞 𝐎𝐿𝐼, 9th 𝐷𝐵, 8th 𝘬𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼 𝐺𝐠, 7th Buck for Life, 6th 14A.Stock, 5th 𝗦𝐶𝐰𝐿𝐼, 4th 𝐼𝐿𝐼 058113, 3rd Sophie Master 600, 2nd Bloods for Life, and 1st with a 3-point margin we have Platinum. Okay, so here we are. This is where everybody wants to see the video. We now go over my prelim final tips. Oof, they're just huge games. I only can pick one winner. Looking at these both four sides, no team deserves to go out. It is two sides that have been pretty much brilliant throughout most or nearly all of the season. And they are deserving teams, that is safe to say. But only 2 can progress, of course, to the grand final. We'll kick it off with Geelong versus Brisbane Lions at the MCG, Friday night, 7:50. Going to be a huge game. I feel like the Lions, again, similar to when playing the Demons, they've just got nothing to lose, really. If they get beat by the Geelong, there's no shame in that, of course. Geelong on the top side this year, you'd have to say. So the Lions, they're going to pretty much do a repeat almost of what they did to the Demons. Just really get that pressure going in the forward half, lock it in, and just use that dare ball use. They really showed that in the second half, the Lions, and they just really capitalise. Their midfield, they won a lot of 50-50s that game, the Lions, so I feel like they've really got to ramp up just their physicality in the midfield especially. That's where the game could be won. It's a big game for the Lions defence. I know Hawkins was pretty quiet with week 1. 𝘼𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼 did a terrific job on him. But Hawkins, Cameron, Stengel, Close, Gary Rowan is in a bit of form from what we saw back on week 1. Just their forward line, Geelong, it's the best balanced team across out of any team in the competition. I do feel every player is a threat almost. Everyone's playing their role. They're just a side on high maintenance of chemistry, but I still feel a beatable side, Geelong. From what we saw in week 1, you could see they they really got under pressure, throughout the first half against Collingwood. But just what great sides do is they weather the storm. They're just calm and composed. And that's what the Cats did, and almost you could say they won that game without being in the top, and in the top gear. They almost won it by just not playing the greatest footy. So yeah, interesting matchup, really is. I feel like the Lions as well, both teams match up pretty well. From what we see, they're usually close games. So I feel like this could be a bit of a close game. And of course, all the Geelong doubters, which is fair enough, could say I could easily see the Lions winning this game, which is a very understandable. But for me, just the Cats are just looking too good at the moment. They're really primed up for a grand final. Just their preparation and just their execution. It's a big final stage, of course, and they are, of course, heavy favourites. And But yeah, the Lions, I just feel like this is a bridge too far. Could they prove me wrong? Perhaps. I could see this being a close game, but I just feel the Cats, their midfield is really humming at the moment. Their forward line, and especially the defence, with all those inside 50s they conceded against the Pies from that first half, they're just able to really stay strong as a back six and catapult and rebound. And that's what I feel like they can do against the Lions, where sometimes their forward line can struggle to really get the effective inside 50. So, yeah, for me, the forward line, Brisbane forward line, and the Cats back line is going to be a solid matchup. That's possibly maybe where the game could be won. Midfield for me looks pretty even. The Lions midfield's in very good form. But for me, I just feel the Cats is the better team, and they'll get the job done here. Maybe a close game. I don't know. I feel like the Cats could really turn it up come the second half. It might be one of those games where it's close the first half, but the Lions just get burnt out by the Cats class. I'll go the Geelong Cats to make the grand final and win this game by 23 points. And now for the other prelim final, this could be obviously a closer matchup from what we've seen with these two sides this year. Sydney Swans, Collingwood at the SCG, 4:45 p.m. And by the way, fellas, yes, I'm going to go to this game, so expect a match day vlog maybe out on the Sunday or Monday. So it's going to be a huge game. One team progresses to the grand final from here. Swans, of course, entering as the favourites, whilst Collingwood are the outsiders. And yeah, obviously, like these two sides did play was only 3 or 4 weeks ago, round 22, where the Swans pretty much, let's be honest, they pretty much convincingly smacked them all around the ground, but it was only a 27-point margin. But yeah, it's just an interesting game, really, this one. Do you feel like the Pies, they had their struggles on the SCG, their game plan, the catapult footy, the quick handball change to go end-to-end, really. They got really just strangled, really, by the Swans' forward half pressure and from what Craig McRae said, the smaller ground dimensions. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I feel like if you're a Pies fan or a Pies player, you're pretty happy that you only played there 3 weeks ago, so you have another real red-hot crack not so far later. The Pies have got really good belief. I heard that they at training measured the dimensions and played to that at Victoria Park with 𝐼𝐴𝐴 paddock, wherever they do train. So that's pretty intriguing. So you feel like they'll come with, it's interesting what plan they'll come with. I feel like in the midfield, Jordan Teqoy inside bottom's doing really well, and their crisp is in good form from what we saw last week. So I feel like they can do well with the clearances. The contested game, look, the Swans midfield and all around the ground, they're just a class side at the moment. The Swans, similar to Geelong, just every single position is strong. Such a well-drilled side they have been. And similar to Geelong as well, they just weather the storm when they're under pressure. I think they're one of the best sides, the Swans, absorbing pressure from the opposition whilst putting pressure on their own. They're the number one pressure side. And I just feel like on the SCG, I can just see them doing it again to the Pies, just really strangling them in the forward half. Midfield is going to be good matchups. Maybe row bottom on Teqoy. Mills goes to Crisp. It's going to be pretty even, I reckon, in the midfield. And in the back line, the Collingwood's back six is seriously the best back six I think I've seen this year. They just, they concede a lot of inside 50 entries, but the important thing is they limit the scores every time they concede inside 50s. They're just such a high chemistry back six. You feel like they could really turn it up this game against some damaging forwards. Again, the Swans forwards, they just, again, one of those sides where maybe Buddy isn't playing the best, or maybe Henny isn't playing the best, but Papley, 𝐼𝐴𝐴 will rise up. Maybe 𝘼𝐼𝐴𝐴 could pitch in with 2 goals. So there's just so many avenues to go and so many plans to win a game, the Swans. So I feel like it could maybe be another out-coaching sort of a win for the Swans. And for me, look, I can really see the Pies turning up, but getting the upset win, I feel like the Pies would have to play either their very, very, very best football, or the Swans just to play awfully bad, or the Pies to kick straight as well. But for me, I just feel like the Swans should be winning this game, and the favourites, midfield I think will be pretty even. But I just feel like they'll keep on getting those repeated entries, and their inside 50s I've been good with as well, the Swans, as of late. And the forward half pressure. Whoever has the most pressure wins the game, I do believe. And both sides really do have high pressure, but I just feel the Swans are one of the best at absorbing the pressure. So we'll see. I'm going to be going the Swans, though, to advance in the grand final and meet Geelong by, I think it's going to be a real solid hit out. I'll go the Swans by 14 points. So over on there were my tips for the prelim finals of the 2022 AFL Finals Series. So Geelong and the Swans I've tipped, so they'll be meeting each other in, perhaps, if all things go to plan, a grand final. Oof, will that just be huge? But yeah, never count out the Lions or the Pies. I feel like they are really solid chances to get the job done as well. But yeah, there's my tips, fellas. Make sure to, or feel free, sorry, to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of my tips. And feel free to put yours down below too. Love to hear your fellas' thoughts. Once again, fellas, thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you wanted to enjoy. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, fellas.